So AI is everywhere, but it's not just a, thank you. It's not just a buzzword or a hot topic, it's a true revolution. Yet, dramatic pause, most organizations didn't integrate it, right? For various reasons. Sometimes a fear of being replaced by the AI. There's no trust in the capabilities of AI to do the job. Or maybe they simply don't know where to start. And we have here two panelists that already took a leap into the AI journey and agreed to share their insights. So first of all, thank you for being with us on stage. Super happy to have you. And maybe we'll start to give you, maybe we'll start with some intro. So Yoko, maybe you want to explain a bit about Karl Lagerfeld and your story.
Yep. My name is Yoko. I'm a senior e-commerce trading manager. I oversee quite a different functionality for Karl.com, site merchandising, site experience, content management, content design, product content, including product photography and copies. You see Karl Lagerfeld here. We are his namesake brand. Although we are based in Amsterdam, we offer Parisian-inspired product ranging from clothing, shoes, bags, to pet accessory and fragrance. Our products are available over 200 stores and marketplaces globally, and Karl.com, my channel, currently serves 28 countries in 9 languages. On average, we have 1,800 products on our site. We are refreshing our product assortment every 6 months for spring, summer, and for winter.
And Mark, maybe you want to give
Great. Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Mark, part of our retail and consumer industry at Google Cloud. So I spend a lot of my time talking to consumer-facing brands, retailers, and other industries about their journey with technology, and right now particularly about their journey in AI. So hopefully we'll be able to share some insights from some of those conversations.
Awesome. And I think the first question we ask ourselves and how we should bring this topic is, where do we start? What is the trigger that makes you start your AI journey? So Yoko, what was the challenges that led Karl Lagerfeld to explore AI?
Well, the decision, the decision to start using the Gen AI generation tool originally came from a conversation around cutting costs, reassessing the ROI, return on investment of our own activities, especially in relation to using copywriters and translation agency, which we've spent substantial amount of money. And this is very common across online retailers. And the second point was SEO. We haven't invested in SEO optimization or improvement at all, and we need to incorporate our SEO strategy into our product content development. The third point was more an organizational challenge. We wanted to remove silos between channels, especially marketplaces and our own e-commerce platform, Karl.com. Our businesses are both growing rapidly, and our catalog size has been growing so much. We needed to improve our work efficiency to move faster in digital expansion, and we need to use the power of AI.
And we have in the audience some organizations who are trying to start their AI journey. So what advice will you give you those people who are looking to start?
Let me start how we begin this journey first. So last year, March, we attended Akeneo Unlock event in Paris. We were so inspired by the presentation about Gen AI content. And right after we came back to Amsterdam, we started speaking to our Akeneo success manager. And then we got introduced to this third-party app vendor who helped us generating AI contents in Akeneo. And then we started aligning, discussing what are our challenges and what are our needs with our marketplace counterparts. And we went through all the product attributes in Akeneo and then see what attributes we can use to generate the contents. This also gave us great opportunity to think through what are the missing attributes which we should have in Akeneo in the future to enrich and improve our product content quality. And this has been such a successful journey. And our vendor also helped us to write, to improve our prompt writing skills. However, we also had a couple of hiccups because we jumped on one single vendor without validating our current technical capability and also the data structure in Akeneo. We ended up giving them impossible missions. Some products are, some issues, they faced challenges that actually came from our data structure, how we define our product in Akeneo, how we store data product attribute in Akeneo, which they cannot solve. So we kind of stuck in this development process to scale up. This experience reminded me or made us think, why don't we just work directly with Akeneo? And now we are actually using the AI feature, which you actually saw in the screen like a few hours ago.
That's perfect. And I think what's key as well in what you shared is that it's crucial when you implement a new technology. It's true for AI, but it's true for any new tools or technology you implement, is to start aligning with your stakeholders. It's key, it's change management. I cannot stress this enough.
Yeah, this should be the biggest advice. Always go with aligning the requirement, defining a project scope, and then validate your technical capability, and then select the vendor, not the other way around, so that you can avoid the detour.
Follow the right order. Thank you, Yoko. And Mark, you talked to a lot of retailers. And what are the considerations those retailers are having into when they start also entering the AI journey?
I think the first thing to say probably is the time's now to get started. We're hearing lots of retailers, lots of brands are already starting. They're already engaged in their journey into AI, into generative AI. You hear about the great brands like Karl Lagerfeld. They're already starting to kind of build this technology into the way that they run their business, serve their customers, or make work easy for their teams. So I think the first thing is it's time to get going. And that might be it's time to start testing, learning, thinking about the potential benefits that AI can bring to your business. Might be a time to start to build some POCs. We've seen a lot of that over the last 12 months or so. A huge number of organizations building proof of concepts, starting to test out how AI can actually drive some value in their business. And I think what we're starting to see now is that move from very short term, how can we show some value in a very specific area just to prove that there's some value to get going, into how do we drive value over the sort of medium to long term, and how do we kind of really make sure that this technology is going to change the way we do business, so it isn't just the next shiny thing that we spend time thinking about. I think probably 4 things that I hear a lot, and I would say that those organizations that are amongst the earliest adopters and the most successful so far have thought about these 4 things. The first one, as Yoko said, is thinking about the data. Do you have data that your AI technology can make use of? Do you have a good data foundation? Do you have access to the data in the right place? Is it easy to bring that data together to create the use case that you're looking to drive? So have you really thought about how you get access to the right data and how you can power your experiences with AI through data? The second one is kind of strategic fit. And I always talk to retailers about it's really important to make sure that whatever you're doing with AI is aligned to something that's strategically important for your business. Because I believe it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of senior leadership buy-in. It takes a lot of kind of coaching and canvassing of opinion and driving engagement across the organization. So if it doesn't fit with your strategy, it's going to be difficult to engage. It's going to be difficult to justify that time and that energy. I think the third one I've talked about already, which is value. Prioritize based on where you see there's an opportunity. Lots of brands that I talk to are using AI for content generation, for example, which we'll talk about in more detail. But it's a really great place to start because you can see the value straight away. You can save time, you can save costs, you can deliver faster, you can be more creative. So really thinking about where is the business value, both short term and long term. And then the final consideration is, does AI actually help to deliver the thing that we're looking to change. I saw probably in the last year or so many businesses just jump on the bandwagon. We have to have AI. We've got to go and build some apps. We've got to go and build some chatbots or whatever it might be, just for the sake of it. And I think in many organizations, sometimes, we talked about people using spreadsheets. If a spreadsheet will do the job better than AI, then stick with a spreadsheet. Use AI in the areas where it can really power your business, where it can really transform your business. So I think those 4 things are kind of key areas of consideration that I see quite often.
Okay, perfect. Really focus on the value. And if we zoom in into the product contents and how generative AI can impact product content, Yoko, how do you see that generative AI was able to improve in terms of content generation and content improvements?
So, sorry. So it's one of the first point is like standardizing our product contents copy creation process. So when we started this AI journey, I also hired a product content coordinator, and I was teaching what point we should include in writing copies to make our product more appealing to our customers and guide them through the shopping journeys. But these points can be easily translated as an attributes such as fit, rise, materials, and so forth. So this whole exercise not only made our content coordinator become a master of prompt writing and be the expert of Gen AI content tool, but also gave us great opportunity to understand or to gain a deeper understanding of our content creation strategies. So now we also built a product content guide that covers our PX strategies, and then we're very proud of it. The second part is the SEO part, which I just mentioned. We already launched the product in February with AI-generated content. Since then, we see some increase, SEO traffic increase on product pages by 5% organically. More importantly, add to cart rate has improved by 16%. So we've been seeing some success across KPIs in performance improvement. And the last one is the cost reduction. So we used to localize the British English from the US English, and we pay 2,000 to 3,000 euro per season. Annually, it was around 10,000 euro. Now we have AI localizing British English. That was an easy win.
Wow. Amazing result already. And if you think about the journey, is there any pitfalls to avoid?
So the first one, the first challenges or pitfall we faced was tone of voice. We are Karl Lagerfeld. We represent the designer. So our tone of voice is very important to our branding. And AI is still struggling to interpret our tone of voice and be consistent in our product descriptions. So we still need to fine-tune our product copy, including this branding element. And the second point is do not overtrust AI's localization capability. So like humans, it has a preference in localizing content. So in addition to like US English, UK English, we have 7 different languages on Karl.com, including Polish and Japanese. And AI hates my language, Japanese. It always gives me full of jokes when we use translation with AI. So we also, we are still exploring in this area, but we switched from the full translation to localizing our product contents based on translating attributes. So instead of translating English copies, we first localize attribute and let AI generate the content in respective languages. We've seen a better result in this way. We are still, as I said, exploring how we can actually move forward. But we are also seeing we can adapt the way of working with translation agencies. So I'm also comfortable. We will just make this happen in the future.
Amazing. Another area that we see Gen AI can bring is enhancing visuals. So Mark, what have you seen in the different organizations that you partner with into how Gen AI can improve and enhance visuals?
Yeah, I mean, it's an area where I've seen a really high level of adoption. I think I mentioned previously. I think that the opportunity and partly also the challenge with AI is it's changing almost by the day at the moment. You know, almost kind of weekly, there's a new set of capabilities or an improvement over what was there before. But yeah, definitely, I think both visual and written content is an area that we see lots of organizations really starting their AI journey, I think. You know, and the benefits are obvious. You know, you just heard Yoko talk about some amazing benefits there in terms of being able to augment the experience of the teams, you know, and support and I think kind of help amplify the experience of the teams. You know, for me, this isn't a story of kind of AI will replace what our experts and what our creative teams and what our kind of product experts will do inside our organization, but actually is opportunities to help them do their job even better. So we're seeing lots of consumer brands adopt these technologies for written content, for copy. So this is things like product descriptions, product titles, translation, but beyond translation into localization. So really understanding those local nuances, not just kind of translating from one language to another. We're seeing, you know, even in the briefing process, lots of organizations I speak to are using generative AI to really shorten that briefing process. So not always in the customer-facing copy, but actually often in the kind of internal language, the internal artifacts and documents that help get work done, you know, briefing one department to the next, actually just producing, you know, help me write a brief for this particular set of product launches, help me write the requirements by channel, you know, help me write the requirements by localization and by market. So a huge amount of kind of focus there. And I think what I'm seeing a lot of is organizations using AI to do the heavy lifting, to maybe do 80%, but not to replace. And I think it's just an important point I just keep coming back to, that, you know, if you can get AI to do the heavy lifting, then you can use your fantastic individuals in the teams to do that refining, you know, do that real expert kind of portion on the top, to make it speak in the brand's tone of voice, or to make it kind of really stand out, to really help discoverability, you know, in SEO or internally. So I think written content is definitely an area. And then you mentioned visual content. I mean, visual content use of generative AI in particular is just exploding at the moment. We're seeing so much development here, from text into images, into moving images, into video, and increasingly the technology that powers kind of text to video is just getting so good. The examples that I've seen lately are just you know, incredible. You would think they are real shot video. And so I think, again, there, you know, this opportunity to use short product videos to create, you know, introductory videos. And if you think about the effort that has previously been required to create videos for product, and therefore the high bar that creates in terms of ROI. You know, typically in organizations I've worked in, you have the idea, we're going to produce some video content. You end up having some kind of briefing session internally. In a lot of cases, you then go and brief an external agency or some kind of video production capability. You might be lucky enough to have it in-house, but a lot of times you're briefing that externally. Then you get some kind of rough cut. Then you need to kind of give feedback, and then you get a final version. And then you need a version for every channel that you want that video, because social might look like this, and your site, you might want widescreen. And it's a massive enterprise, let alone costly. Now you can write a prompt. Now you can write copy. You can write text and say, this is what I want the video to look like. It's getting, you know, to that level of standard. So I think the potential is huge to increase productivity, to reduce cost, and to be able to put that investment into areas where you can make even more difference. So it's a huge area.
And to elaborate on that, there's also, if we go a step further, what do you see as an impact that it can have on customer experience, especially when we think about AI-driven personalization?
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of areas I'm seeing organizations embrace AI for consumer experience. I mean, I think the first thing to say, the experiences that AI, particularly generative AI, power for your consumers, whether that be B2B, B2C, whatever, are only ever going to be as good as the data that they're built on. So if ever there was a kind of need to really hone in on your product experience strategy, to really think about how are you ensuring you've got great product data that's accessible to all of the different channels that you intend to serve and to those AI experiences, particularly generative AI, it's so fundamental. And you may well have seen in kind of news and media over the last few months, I've seen a few examples of organizations launching AI-powered consumer-facing experiences without thinking about what data they want to power that experience and having some pretty awful kind of media pickup in terms of the responses that technology is delivered. Not because the technology was doing the wrong thing, but because they were allowing it or not thinking about the data that would power that experience. So really, really important to think about the data that powers that experience. And I think the most common use case, certainly that we're seeing, is this area of conversational commerce, conversational interactions. And for me, that's beyond the chatbot. Chatbots have been around for a little while now. Some are good, some not so good, in terms of the kind of interactions, those rule-based interactions that perhaps we've been used to in the past. What we're seeing now is real conversations. And for me, conversations is a very human thing. So starting to see AI experiences that have those human touches in the responses, that can respond in a little bit more of a kind of way that connects with the person that is having that conversation, that can understand the query. One of the things we spend a lot of time thinking about at Google is, understanding exactly what someone means when they ask a question. And we're seeing consumers ask increasingly complex questions. You only need to look at any kind of recent study on e-commerce or on consumer experiences that consumers want more and more personalized experiences. They're expecting brands and organizations to do more for them. They want you to do the work so that they don't have to. We see that in Google as well, that the questions that people are typing into Google search are getting longer, they're getting more complex, consumers are expecting more. And so there's a real opportunity to create these conversational interfaces where they are personalized, where you know the individual, where you can start to recommend helpful additional services, additional products. You can kind of combine searching for things and finding information in a conversation, not as separate experiences. So I think that's one of the real areas we've seen explode in terms of consumer-facing experiences using generative AI, is building those conversations, going beyond the chatbot and creating those really kind of human-like conversations.
Amazing. I think really clear that it has positive impact on the business. It has positive impact on the customer experience. But what about the employee? So as you started your journey, did you have to face those type of fear from your team? Or how do you see that, actually? How do you tackle this?
I actually see this point quite differently based on my own experience. So we used to hire like 2 freelance copywriters, and now we decided to continue only with 1 based on the past work quality. This is the key. So now AI generating contents, we converted this 1 freelance copywriter's role to content editor from the copywriter. She didn't take this change negatively. She later took this as an opportunity to enhance our partnership with her. And her input was valuable. We include her feedback in fine-tuning on prompts. We really work closely to bring this AI content generation process to life. And more importantly, I believe that the trust between our partners who delivers high-quality work, this trust cannot be replaced by AI. And then the most important thing is, I think it's the mindset, the embracing the change and learn from it.
Amazing. So we're almost at time. Maybe you wanted to share some key takeaway that the audience can live with, and this is some parting thought that you want to share.
The first part is the fail first and recover first. So this journey wasn't an easy journey. We also faced a lot of challenges, but we never gave up thinking, how can we get this? How can we get this down? How can we make this happen? And just try to see how different approaches. So this is a really important mindset. And then the second point is the more you know about AI, the more opportunity you gain in assessing the existing human resources. This also gave me a great opportunity to think what kind of skill sets we need in our team to grow faster. And the third part is don't compromise your content quality. We must remember our product contents are ultimately made for our customers. So do not overly be ambitious about rolling out this AI process. At the end of the day, we offer our contents for our customers, so we need to make sure that our content quality and customer service are remaining high quality.
And you, Mark?
I mean, look, you can see a few points on screen there. I think we very much see this as a generational shift, a profound shift, as profound a shift as we've experienced as a move to smartphones from kind of, internet usage before then. So I talk to a lot of brands that sort of ask this question, is this really going to make a difference? Is this really coming? Is it just the next sort of shiny thing and then it will be gone in a year's time? We very much believe this is a profound shift. And so, you need to start soon. And, I think the reason why is because people are already embracing it. I think consumers and your employees are already expecting the benefits of this technology. They're already using it. It's in their pocket, their handbag every single day when they're using their phones. My kids use it to do their school homework. This is coming. Whether we want to kind of hold back the tide or not is irrelevant. So the sooner you start to take advantage of this opportunity or learn or ask those questions like Yoko talked about, the better able you are to understand how to drive real value for your organization. I also think it's important to kind of think about AI in the context of how can it help augment what you do well. This is not a story of replacement or taking away. This is about how can you supercharge, how can you power your organization. You're not up against AI. You're not competing with AI, but you potentially will be competing with other organizations that are already starting to take these benefits if you don't. And as I said right at the start, the time is now. We're seeing more and more organizations embrace this, starting to drive value, save costs, do things faster, better, quicker. So the opportunity is real and it's happening now.
Perfect. What an exciting future ahead of us. Thank you both for your amazing insights. Thank you everyone for listening.